I love it. Okay, let's begin. Welcome to the Griffin Hill webinar series. We're thrilled to have you. We know that people will continue to gather as we get started here. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about stacking the odds of success in our favor, but because we know we can't control all the odds, sometimes we stumble and fall, and that's where we pick up our great guests today. Brett and Kate Grow from Link Trust, as they talk about how do you take stumbles and falls and turn them into something valuable and powerful and worthwhile. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from Brett and Kate. This is also a great time for us to announce the launch kickoff SmartCon 2017. We've loved our SmartCon series. And in fact, as we think towards the fall of 2017, we've actually got our fall date scheduled. But if you think about our speakers from 2016, we had Bill Brady, we had Brett and Kate. That's why we're on today with them, because we were so thrilled about the kind of talent that they brought to SmartCon last year that we wanted to have them back in the webinar series. We had Nate Gibby, we had Chad Kirby from Infusionsoft. We love our partnership with Infusionsoft, and they're very good to us, and we think that they value what we do for them. We also had Stephen M.R. Covey, of course, author of Speed of Trust. What Stephen M.R. Covey taught during that seminar, his portion on the Speed of Trust, was absolutely life-changing, and that is the power of SmartCon, Utah's sales, marketing, and technology conference. So the technologies that support sales and marketing, along with sales and marketing gurus and geniuses, all gathered to share thought and idea, the next big idea. It's just a wonderful place to gather and to network and to grow your business. So save the date, get it on your calendar. It's September 28th in 2017. We're looking forward to that date. You can get in and register now. There's the link. You can see it. I hope that Kim and Brooke will post that link in the posting section so that you can actually download it. Smartcon.com. Smartcon.griffinhill.com. You can get in. You don't even need the credit card to reserve today. So if you get registered today, you don't have to pay today, but you get the early bird pricing. So you'll want to get in and get registered for SmartCon and participate with great people like Brett and Kate Grow. Now, SmartCon, along with everything else we do at Griffin Hill, is intended to stack the odds of success in your favor. And one of the things that we know, one of the unique pieces of research at Griffin Hill is how do you stack the odds of success in your favor? What are the elements that control the odds? So as part of my PhD research, I hypothesized that there were, in fact, a set of attributes common among highly successful organizations, and that those attributes could be identified and measured inside of an organization. Having done that research, it turns out that there are, in fact, 5 attributes that are common among successful organizations, and that they account for 86% of all the variableness in an organization. So take just a moment and we'll walk through these 5 dimensions, these domains of organizational success, and just kind of check yourself and ask yourself how you're doing with each of these. The first of those is successful organizations have a strategic excellence position. That means they have vision, they have values, they have mission, they have purpose. And all of that purpose is guided by a plan of action. They stand out in some unique way. And that accounts for 47% of all the variableness associated with the success of an organization. 47%. Do you have goals? Do you have a strategic plan? Do you have action items? Do you have vision? 47%. So just ask yourself, how do I stand up? How do I stack up? This is how you stack the odds of success in your favor. Second and third are functional organization and people. So key with functional organization is that things just work. Instead of we're always putting out fires around here, our organization just works. Things happen, and they happen in an orderly way. And they're aligned with our strategic position of excellence. In addition to that, our people and their skills and their education and their abilities are also in alignment with our strategic excellence position. And each of those account for another 13%. So you can see the variableness stacking up. Now we're to ICE, information, communication, and education, and external awareness and adaptation. So if you think about ICE, are we informing our people? Are we informing our customers? Do we communicate internally? Is there two-way exchange of that communication? Do we educate one another? Are we growing? Are we improving? Are we getting smarter as an organization and as a team? And then, of course, external awareness and adaptation. Now, I love all of this. This is our favorite thing because it does, in fact, stack the odds of success in the favor of the organization. And when you can take control of the odds, all things work to our good. But you can also see that we only control 86% of the variableness. That means there's still 14% of randomness. And that means with randomness come challenges, difficulties, unforeseen things. I really like this little quote from Arlie Sharp, particularly this last phrase we'll focus on. Each is given a list of rules, a shapeless mass, a bag of tools, and each must fashion, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. So when challenges come, when randomness hits you from out of the blue, and you didn't anticipate a difficulty or a stumble or a challenge, what do you do with it? What do you do with the stumbling block? Are you able to turn it into a stepping stone? And that is exactly one of the great areas of expertise for Kate and Brett and their company, Link Trust. I'd like to have them just introduce Link Trust to us, tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll introduce both each of Kate and Brett and then their family. Why don't you take it away from there, Kate, Brett, tell us about Link Trust.
All right, well, we're glad to get a chance to do that. Link Trust, we've been in business 15 years. We help people with their marketing and online digital advertising. We track and manage all of the relationships it takes to do not just monitoring your online spend, but also tracking and managing performance marketing. So it's our bread and butter, and we love it, but we've just rolled out a new product a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. And basically, it's a two-sided marketplace, a place where people can post product and service offers and pick up product and service offers to advertise on other people's behalf. The other side is advertising space listing, where people can list their advertising spaces, or they can find just the right advertising space to put their product or service on. It's big. If you think of it kind of like an MLS listing of every advertising space on the planet, that's what we're talking about. The system also makes recommendations back and forth. If you've got an advertising space like this blog, this mommy blog, we recommend these 5 products or services to advertise on your blog. So if you've got a mommy blog about what it's like to be a mother of teenage boys, the system would recommend here's a hoverboard offer, and here's a remote control airplane offer, things that are perfect for the audience that people have already got. So this will really help drive sales to small businesses, and let them compete right alongside the enterprise level Fortune 500 companies and getting their products and services in front of the right people.
Yeah, very cool. That's it's a fun new project, great product, and we're excited to have you announce it and launch it here in the Griffin Hill webinar series.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
So on a personal note, we've been married for 20 years. I grew up in Southern California.
Look at that picture. You two are young.
Well, I don't know what to say about that, but thank you. Yeah,
Put that in my journal today.
yeah, we're gonna put that in our journal right now. So, and Kate was an Army brat, so she grew up all around the world. Her dad was in the Army, and we have 4 children. Our oldest being 19. He's not in this picture. He chose to work full time rather than take a European trip. Go figure. So he's 19. Then Brighton is 17, and then we have Emily, who's 12, and Chadwick, who's 10 years old. And we homeschool, so we take opportunities where we can to bring the kids with us on business trips, wherever that might be around the world, and help them kind of gain a lot of experience at an early age. So,
right.
It's a great opportunity to take advantage of the learning opportunities that the world provides, and even that the business world provides. They'll get a more practical application of their education than in any other way. That's a great approach.
thank you. We've really enjoyed it, and we pray it out each year, and sometimes we've had like Brighton go in for a semester of regular school and then come out, and so really it's just whatever works for your family is what we recommend, right? So.
Yep. Okay. So we do want to get to talking about Hell Diamonds, because we've been through some really hard stuff together, and we've got some great principles and actionable tools that we'd love to share with your audience. We really have a heart to help just people in general. But these things that we've learned the hard way together are not just beneficial for husbands and wives who work together on a business. They're also great for relationships. If you have a business partner, if you're working on a team, if you've got coworkers, if you've got employees, these principles and tools help things go better for business. So I love how you talk about stacking the odds in your favor. That's so important. We call it setting things up for success at Link Trust. It's one of our core values to set things up for success. And these Hell Diamonds, these things that we got the hard way, they really go into how to stack the odds in your favor. So we're excited to get to share those with you today.
Awesome. So as you think about these, the things that you've learned, that you've mined from the real grueling hard work of working together in a business, what are the things that stand out? Oh,
I'm so glad you asked that question. Let me paint a little picture first of all of what it was like, just how bad it got. So we've been married 20 years, we've got this business of 15 years, we've got these 4 kids, we have a side business doing rental vacation properties in Provo, and we have a lot of fun. But even though we tried to set things up for success in the beginning, we kind of created a monster. When we set it up, we said, let's make a business that would be the kind of place we always wanted to work. Come in when you want, leave when you want, wear what you want, we'll provide lunch, and everybody gets a private office, and we really set up a culture that wasn't conducive to really hard work and very low accountability, and just it was an unfortunate culture at work. But at the same time, we managed to get the company into $2.4 million of debt, and we were going 30,000 further in the hole every month, and that debt was personally tied to our family. And when things started to flatline from a sales perspective, we stood to lose our homes, and things got really scary. So it was really rough. And we'd worked together on projects in the past, but having to really pull together to save our company and save our marriage and be tight as a family, it was pretty intense. So one of the first things we learned was, you want to talk about about Common Realms?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the first things that we learned really was the ability to work together and be unified as a couple. Because we're a couple, we're married and we work together. Um, we needed to find a way to communicate and become unified together. And when Kate came and started working full time in the business, that was the lowest point in the business's history. Was when she came in to really see what was going on, because things were not going well. And this was after about 11 years of business. And of course, it affected everything that was going on at home. So if business was not going well, our marriage started to suffer. And there was a point where we ate food storage. We didn't have any food that we could buy or anything like that for like 4 months because we were paying 18 salaries. And it just doesn't equate. It doesn't work very well, especially on the home front. So when things are suffering at home, they'll suffer at work. And when things suffer at work, they'll suffer at home. And so the thing that that really is critical to understand is that you and your spouse, when you're working together, you have a common realm. The office life is not just my life. And when Kate came into it, started working full time several years ago in the business, I had to learn how to share that, because it was not just mine. It was affecting both of us and our family. And in the same likewise manner, the things that go on in the home are also part of my common realm. Well, so
For instance, okay, so if I'm choosing what I eat or how much I sleep in a selfish manner, and I'm not considering how what I'm doing is affecting the family,
mm-hmm.
Brett and the kids will suffer if I'm not taking care of my health, right? So that means Brett has not only the right but really the obligation to talk to me about it and say, let's look at your sleep habits, let's look at your eating habits and exercise, and let's do what's right for our family. And that's just not something that is being taught anywhere that we have heard. And it was really a diamond that changed the way we work together, that changed our dynamic, that said, if it's affecting both of us, if this is our realm together, not my realm and his realm, if we're really having to work together, there's a common realm, and we both have not only the right but the obligation to say something, to work together, to work through the problems. And that's great, but then having this mindset that says it's ours together, how can we build it together, that's the why, but that's not the how. And the how is the actionable tool that goes with this principle. So the principle is unity in common realms, and the tool is a long old acronym that means we have a meeting that we work together and we get results with.
So in the beginning, when we started working together, we found we had so many communication problems. Everything turned into a fight. And it was a point in our time where our marriage was really suffering because of the trials that we were having, both at work, but also just not being able to be unified and on the same page with the directions we should go. And there was a period where Kate left me and I left Kate. And we loved each other, but we just could not see eye to eye. We could not be unified. And so one thing that we learned, this diamond that we learned, was how to really hold a collaborative meeting. The real how-to steps that allowed us both to express how we felt, and also allowed us to find ways to brainstorm and come together and have a way forward that was an actionable solution to a big problem. Sometimes it's hard to find a resolution to the really hard things in life. We were asking ourselves all sorts of questions during this time. Do we fold up the company? Do we declare bankruptcy? Do we get a divorce? Do we kick out our 18-year-old son who was struggling at the time? And just hard
really
questions.
Really difficult stuff.
And
we were able to work together and come up with what we really wanted to have happen. It wasn't like I came up with a plan and presented it to Brett, and then whoever could fight the hardest for what they wanted won. It was truly using this Hell Diamond tool that helped us come up with a solution we both liked, with the way forward we both felt really good about, and the action steps for it, and who's doing what and by when. And anyway, I would love to share that that formula with you. We can do it on this webinar, or we can set up a template where people can come to helldiamonds.com and get the template for that collaborative meeting, whichever way you want. You have anything you want to say, Scott? We just kind of took over. How are you doing?
I just love the fact, first of all, that you are so transparent about the challenges that you have faced personally as it relates to your business and financial lives. And what we sometimes forget is that our financial lives have such a great impact on our personal lives, and our business affairs have such an impact on our family affairs, that this is just crucial that we get these things right. I think what I'd like us to do is, if you'd make sure that you include a way, we're going to send out the slide deck to everybody who registered, so that all of you who are listening are going to get the entire slide deck, and you'll get that that little tool as well from Kate and Brett. I love these principles that you've learned. First principle, as you've shared it, is look, if there are decisions or realms that affect both of us, then we've got to be unified together on it. That means we've got to be able to communicate. That means we've also got to get tools. So yeah, we'll share that with everybody. But I just love the fact that you can acknowledge, look, difficult times come. We want to stack the odds of success in our favor, and we do that by controlling the odds. But sometimes, out of randomness, there come difficulties, and we can turn them into stepping stones. Just share with us, in conclusion, that how have turning each of these challenges into stepping stones affected your relationship and affected your business?
I would have to say that I've seen that Kate and my relationship has definitely strengthened. We've come together as a couple, and we've been able to put our relationship first and foremost above everything else. So number one is I'm happier, right? So just happiness, being able to feel fulfilled, and part of that comes with when you're using tools on a regular basis to prevent as much randomness as possible, because then you really are stacking the deck in your favor. If you're using the tools regularly like we do, then you're able to stave off all the hand-to-hand combat, all the daily firefighting, because once you get that tackled, you can start looking at the future, and looking at the future is a lot more fun because it's not pressing down on you right now, today. And so the regular use of the tools that we've employed within our own marriage and within our own company have really significantly improved my happiness and improved our ability as a couple to work together, and not just on work, but also to work together when it comes to our children and our goals and looking at the future.
Just awesome. Well, look, Kate and Brett are part of the reason that SmartCon is such a great event. We loved having them in 2016. Again, we're with this webinar opening the registration to fall of 2017. It's set for September 28th. You can get registered today without paying a fee, and yet you still pick up all the early bird registration discounts. I'm really grateful to you both for sharing with us your own experience and opening the door for people to learn more about who you are, the tools that you've been able to put together, so that we don't only understand the principle, but that we also get the how to implement and turn actually the stumbling block into a stepping stone. And it's just terrific. One of the things that we feel strongly about at Griffin Hill is that our destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice, the choices that we make. It's not a thing to be waited for, it's a thing to be achieved. And so every year at the first of the year, we do an analysis on the current mindset of adult performers. And one of the things that we've discovered is that nearly nearly a full 60% of adults in the United States today are opting out of planning, goal setting, having a purpose of any kind. And that tells us that the hope index is way down. We just don't have hope, so we don't choose purpose, and we don't have vision, and we don't act on our goals with a purpose. I think one of the things that I've learned as a human performance scientist, one of my great mentors is Thomas Gilbert. I think of him as probably maybe one of the finest human performance scientists of our day. And one of the things that he points out is that mistakes in decisions about goals are the single greatest cause of human incompetence. Now, I think we can also look at that in terms of the organizational strategy. Mistakes in decisions about strategy are the single greatest cause of organizational incompetence. Look, we've got to be hopeful. Entrepreneurship is where hope is born. We are the most hopeful body of people in America today. And so I'm inviting you to recapture hope. Oh, challenges will come. But the question is, will you follow the pattern and the example outlined by Kate and Brett today and turn your stumbling blocks into stepping stones? Will you learn from them? Will you turn those challenges into diamonds, something that will enrich your life and your business? You know, when we think about strategy, this is the art of troop movement, generalship. This is what leadership is all about. If you're going to make your organization what it can be, you've got to be a good leader, and that means you've got to be a good strategist, and that means you've got to live life and your organizational life with purpose. You know, one of the things that we often see in strategic planning is this ancient proverb from the book of Proverbs, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. You know, I've spent a lot of time in Asia, and I find that the Japanese version of this proverb gives us a little bit better clarity. Yogen ga nakereba tami wa wagamama ni furumau. Now that might not mean much to you, but let me break it down. Let me turn that Japanese back into English. Where there is no vision, the people are simply left to their own devices. As you listen to Kate and Brett talk about this culture that they had created early on in their business that was responsible for more than $2 million in losses, it was that the people were left to their own devices. There was no unifying vision. So if you think about that, again, we're going to go back to those 5 dimensions. It starts with, do you have purpose? Do you have mission? Is there unifying purpose and mission? And is there a unifying vision about that purpose so that it guides us? Yogen ga nakereba tami wa wagamama ni furumau. Where there is no unifying vision or purpose, people are simply left to their own devices. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. We don't usually tack that on in English because it's confusing, but in Japanese it's profound. Shikashi rippo mamoru mono wa saiwai de aru. But the people who have a model, so it's not just the law, those that have a model or a system or a method, happy are they. So where there's vision and unifying purpose, and then followed by models, methods, and a way. That's what Kate and Brett have been talking about. The principles that unfold into models and methods. He that has a model and a method and a system, happy are they. Well, go back and stack yourself up against these 5 dimensions of organizational achievement. Do you have a unifying purpose and mission? Is there a vision for where that will take you? Is there a roadmap? Is it bounded by values that are shared among your organization. That accounts for 47% of all the variableness in the success of your organization. Do you have functional organization, methods, models, structures? Do things work in your organization, or are you always running around putting out fires? And by the way, as we talked about, there is a way to measure this. And for those of you that are interested, we'll give, this is like a $5,000 giveaway, and my team doesn't know I'm doing this right now. But if you want SAVI score, if you want to know how you stack up in your organization on these 5 dimensions, we'll give that to you today for free. Just email to support@griffinhill.com. Give me the SAVI, and we'll get you that survey for your entire organization. This is a $5,000 give, and you're going to love it. Information, communication, education, and external awareness and adaptation. Find out how your organization stacks up on those 5 domains. Now, remember, SmartCon, save the date, get it on your calendar, September 28th, 2017. You're going to love it. You're going to get great instruction from people just like Kate and Brett Grow, and people like Chad Kirby at Infusionsoft, and people just like Stephen M.R. Covey at, who is the author of Speed of Trust. You can get registered today without having to pay a dime, and you get all the pre-registration discounts. So all the early bird discount, you can go do that to get today, smartcon.griffinhill.com /buy-tickets. So go there, get registered today. Hey, Kate and Brett, wonderful to have you in the Griffin Hill webinar series today. Any final thoughts as we wrap up?
Yeah. Yep. I just want to put in a word of encouragement that the work people are doing at their work and in their families and in their relationships is important, and that it matters. And I just want to encourage them, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, move onward, move upward. There's a bigger reason for things to go well than just you and your own personal happiness. There's people that are counting on you, and I just want to encourage you and say we're with you. Keep going, keep doing.
Great words of encouragement. Get registered today. Won't cost you a cent. You get the early bird discount. SmartCon 2017. Save the date, September 28th. You can also get the $5,000 free give by emailing support@griffinhill.com. Give me the SAVI, and we'll make sure that you get the survey. Great to be with you. Thank you for joining us on our Griffin Hill webinar series. We look forward to being with you again. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.